Welcome everyone, and I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. I've been offline for the past bit due to a lot of work on my plate, but within the course of just 6 hours last week, that all changed with the coronavirus and the travel ban wiping out about 3 projects and nearly a month's worth of income. The good news, I guess, is that it'll give me more time to make a few YouTube videos. So to start, I want to share 5-ish tools that speed up my workflow on a shoot. Speed and ease of setup is especially important to me because most of the time I'm working alone, without a sound engineer, a grip, or a production assistant. My clients don't want me to spend 2 hours setting up, but they do want me to pay attention to them. So tools that help me maintain the highest quality while focusing on them are game changers. Now I'm going to work from the smallest to the biggest in terms of what transforms my workflow the most. Number 5, the boom pole holder. I know this sounds really slight, but I gotta say I love how easy this thing is to use. Now I used to put my boom pole directly into my grip head, but I was always worried the grip head would damage the pole if over tightened, which it did on occasion. It became a balancing act between tightening it enough to hold the boom pole, but not enough to damage it. Now as you can see, I've got a DIY tip for boom poles here. Now, a monopod does a great job at a fraction of the cost of a real boom pole. The XLR cable is on the outside, of course, but what makes for a good boom pole is really a whole nother discussion. And if you're not using grip heads already, they're awesome in terms of simplicity, reliability, and strength. If you have a boom pole holder and a grip head, you've got a professional streamlined system that allows you to focus on other things. Number 4, tripods. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one because when it comes to tripods as a speed tool, it doesn't really matter what kind you get. You should buy the tripod that best fits your needs and the style that you shoot. But I have found that having a tripod gives me a portable table in which to place my camera, freeing up my hands to do other work without having to worry about my baby getting dirty or trampled. This means that I sometimes bring a tripod even though I know there won't be any tripod shots at the shoot. And I might bring a small portable one, like a tabletop, if I need to travel light. Number 3, Arca plates. Now, it doesn't have to be Arca, but they are high-quality, quick-release plates that are relatively inexpensive. The key here is to buy an abundance of them and use them across your system. I have Arca plates permanently attached to my tripods, my gimbal, and my cage, allowing me to move the camera around with a minimum of fuss. The permanent plates mean that I can move my camera from a tripod to a fully balanced gimbal in about 30 seconds, and to a cage in about 10. $40 in Arca plates will save you hours in the field. Number 2, Zuma filter holders. Now, these are kind of pricey, and I'm honestly surprised that there aren't inexpensive, cheap Chinese knockoffs of the Zuma, because frankly, they're pretty simple, and I can't imagine that they cost much to make. The annoyance of filters is that they take time to put on, especially if the threads in your lens or your filter get damaged. If you're in a hurry, sometimes it's easier to just crank up the shutter speed to keep your aperture the same, but that's not optimum. If you watched my Tilta Mini Matte Box review, you also know that I use these for my matte box too, with the caveat that you have to be especially gentle and not all the magnets are equally strong. In the Zuma system, you need one attachment for your lens and another for your filter. I've got these holders on 3 lenses that I use the most and 2 filters. The lens attachment is about $35 and the filter attachment is about $15, which means I've dropped about $135 into this system. But I have to say it's been worth it for me. The one bummer is that it can be difficult to get your lens cap back on depending upon the style and the individual cap. Now they sell magnetic lens caps, but that's another $15. Now the truth is, I love magnets. I use a magnetic band here on my boom pole for my XLR cable. I've got them attached to my phone monitor so I can move my phone around, and on the back of my Aksoon transmitter. The Aksoon is actually another great time saver, which is why I call this 5-ish tools. It's not hard to set up a monitor for your camera, but you can't always take that monitor with you. With the Aksoon, I can take this onto the set to adjust my lights or my mic placement. I can even give it to my clients so that they can see what they look like, or what I'm seeing. And I can use it on my second camera so that I can monitor 2 shots without having to move between the 2 cameras and distract my talent. The Aksoon is compact and it's quick to set up, and frankly, when I only rely on my camera screen, I sometimes regret it. Now the magnets on the back mean that it can function as my phone holder at the same time and as a quick release. The number one thing that speeds up my workflow on set isn't sexy and it isn't going to impress my clients or get anyone excited, but this one tool speeds up my workflow more than any other, and it saves me from headaches in the field. It's how I pack my bag. It's not about a specific technique, it's about always packing the same way or as close to the same as possible. This means I always know exactly where my tools are. I can grab them quickly and I can pack them quickly because I'm not trying to figure out their best placement in the bag. And I can also see that they're packed at the end of my shoot. This is really about good prep. And that principle applies to a number of things that can speed up your workflow and raise the quality of your work. Prep is scouting your location before the shoot date so you can strategize the setup and what to bring. Prep is getting your client prepared before they show up. Prep is knowing the sequence of events so that you can have the right tools at the ready. It's a shot list for your narrative piece or a storyboard that helps you understand the setup better. It's coordinating with your crew if you're lucky enough to have one. And all it costs is the time that it takes to do your prep. Now, there are a number of other things that help speed up my workflow, from wireless mics like the Rode Wireless Go, which is great, though wireless systems can always degrade the sound quality compared to a wired system. Dual recording is something that I find is a must for a solo operator like me. Battery-powered lights or a large battery pack is a really great time saver and makes for a more flexible system. And a small hip bag means that I can carry my lens and filters and have a place to put my camera if I didn't bring a tripod. Even your choice of camera makes a difference when it comes to working quickly in the field. So those are a few of my favorites. If you have a tool or a tip for speeding up your workflow in the field, leave a comment below. And if this has been helpful, hit the subscribe button.